So let's talk about Frida. I just did the simplest thing I could find to do with Frida, and it worked. And there was one dirty trick about Frida that held me up for a whole day, which I had forgotten. You have to have 2 installs of Frida. So I'm going to do it. First, we install Frida tools. With this command, it's a Python. You put it on any operating system. It goes fine on Windows, the Mac, or anything. So I install Frida tools. And I'm using an old version of pip, but it works. I've already installed Frida tools. And so now, this is the dirty trick. Frida, you must have the same version on your host system and on the phone, and they don't tell you that. That's what was driving me nuts. So find out what version you have with -- version, and it's different. Like I have, oh, I didn't find Frida. Now that's rude. It's there. This is a matter of the path, and I didn't have to adjust that path before, but can I do which Frida? No, all right. It's probably that homebrew thing again. No, I didn't install it with homebrew. I actually overcame this once today, and I've forgotten how I did it. All right, here's the way I know. Sudo find / name Frida. This is a general solution. There is some smarter way, which I did earlier, but oh yeah, I could have thrown away the error messages. Well, you can't have everything. Anyway, this is going to search the entire file system for something named Frida. That'll do it. Oh, I remember what I did, actually. I stored it in the source file. I put it in what I was hoping was the profile folder, and I hoped it would load it automatically, and it wasn't, but at least I know where it is. Anyway, this is taking too long on board. I'm just going to do cat. I put it here, .profile. If anybody knows what I should have put it in besides profile, you could let me know. But here it is, this user's library Python 3.8 bin. And so I have to do source. I don't know why I need to do this every time. This must be the wrong file. It's not bash profile. It normally is bash profile, but I don't know what it is on the Mac M1. Anyway, now it's going to work. Now I can do Frida. There. Now I can Frida -- version. Okay, I have 16.0.1, which is almost the latest version. But when I did it on my Mac Intel, it gave me version 14, and I didn't know that. So I put version 16 on the phone and then spent about a day and a half fighting with it because it wouldn't work for no apparent reason, and watching everybody else's videos just work and having no clue what I did wrong. But you have to have the same version on both ends. So here, it's on my M1, it's version 16.0.1. So you have to go to the releases page where they have every old version, and now you know why. You will have to find the one that matches it, and it has to be at least the same major version. So there isn't a 16.01 server, but there is a 16.0 server. And the thing you have to find is you have to find out what the operating system of your phone is. So go to Android Studio and look, and you see for me, I've got an ARM64 virtual machine. Most of you probably have an x86. You find out what processor your simulated phone has. It's ARM64, and you have to get the server for that hardware. There's a bunch of other stuff like Gadget and everything. I don't even know what it is. But all we got is the server, and there it is. Here's the servers. You need the server for Android and the right hardware. So there it is, the server for Android ARM64. They're all XZ, which is a type of zip file, and you can unzip that with unxz in the command line or by just double-clicking it on a Mac. And I think you can probably use 7-zip on a PC. So if I've already downloaded it here. Yeah, here it is. I downloaded the right version, 16.0.0, and I unzipped it. So now this is it. And now what you do is you put it on the phone with ADB, push this thing, and you put it in data local temp. That's just where people recommend putting it. Okay, now I've done that. Now I do ADB shell, and you need to be root. And I think we talked about this, right? Using Magisk to get root. I think we talked about it previously. Maybe. Well, let me point out in passing, if you do SU and you don't have root, then you have to put on Magisk. And Magisk is incredibly easy. Let me just point out that project. That is here. This is how you root Android Studio's emulator. It is very, very easy. You clone the Magisk Git. Then you go in there and then make sure you have ADB running without a /. You export a path, so it'll go to the library Android SDK platform tools. And then you run list all AVDs, and it will show you the command for every version, and you just find which version of Android you're using and which processor you're using, and you run this, and what this will do is it will crash this one file called ramdisk.image, which is a file used during boot up. And it puts the code in the RAM disk, so when it boots up, it installs it and roots it. So you just root it with this, and it's all automatic. You run that one command, and it then reboots your machine, and now it's rooted. Your Android phone. The only dirty trick is, I know I demonstrated this before because I had fun demonstrating it when it failed. It was a different class. That's why, because I was doing it from home. Okay. Anyway, I don't think I'll demonstrate it live tonight, but the only trick here, this is very easy. The only trick is when you go on your phone and do SU, it will pop up this box and ask for permission, and you only have 10 seconds to say grant. So be aware of that. This is the simplest root process I've ever seen. And so you can now root your Android emulator, which is what you have to do to have fun, like Frida. So, all right. So now that I'm in as root, now I can take a look in there. I can go to data, local, temp, okay. And in there, I have my Frida, but if I do ls-l, it is not executable. Read, write, read, write, read, write. So I have to make it executable. Plus X will make it executable. But I have to spell Shemode right. And if you use up arrow on the Android shell, it often cuts off a few characters, which is rude. They're there, but you can't see them. So now if I do ls-l, now it is executable by everybody. This is 777, just what I told you not to do, but I'm doing it because I'm just too lazy. So Frida server, I could fix that. I can't stand it. Let's fix that. Let's do Shemod 755. This is what you should do, Frida. There you go. Now I'm not quite as much of a slob. This is what you should do. Now anybody can run it, but only root can change it. All right. The Frida server is now running. And now I can contact it from the host with just another shell by doing Frida PS and connect by USB. These emulated phones are connecting by virtual USB to the host. So it's not finding Frida PS, so I have to do source. So I have to Google and find out how to get it to automatically load my profile. This is a little bit rude. All right, now it's going to find it. Frida PS -U, and this is now listing all the processes on my phone. These are Chrome and Google Play and stuff. And Magisk is the root process. This is how you read the processes of the USB attached device. And now we can hack something with instrumentation, which is what I wanted to show you. And so Frida server is working, so now we're going to install this vulnerable app. Let me download this thing, which is here. This is some OWASP vulnerable app, and I'm sure it has a million fun features, but there's only one I care about right now, which is root detection. So that is here. They're uncrackable level 1. That's what we want. And here's my emulator. All right, let's put the uncrackable level 1 on here. All right. And there it is, uncrackable. And it says root detected. This is unacceptable. The app is now going to exit. So I can't do anything because it detects that I have root. So I have to get around that. And the way we're going to do it is with instrumentation. So Let me get rid of this. Now we would like to look at the code of the app. So let's run this JADX GUI, which I downloaded earlier. I should have it. So let's, I want to leave my Frida server running. I'm going to do ls here and go into 128. And I should have JADX, and I do. And then bin. And there's a thing called JADX GUI. And hopefully this will work. It is a Java-based app, and I think something launched. Yes, something is launching. Life is good. Okay, this is JADX. You can now view it will decompile Java apps. So I go to my folder, I'm putting stuff in, and here's the uncrackable. And there it is, and it's of course a very simple app, OWASP MSTG uncrackable. I can go in there and find some things. Those don't look too interesting. Let's look here in this one. Here's A, B, C, uncrackable, main activity. When you first launch an app, the main activity is what runs. And here you have it. And sort of wonder if I can make the font bigger, but probably not. Preferences. Wait. Theme. Editor font. Yes. All right. I think I can. I can hit this change button and make it bigger. Doesn't seem to take any effect. Maybe when I hit save. Yes, there it's bigger. I feel happier. All right, so here's my main activity. So when you launch the app, the very first thing it does is check to see if it's root. And so the root is create set message. Here it is. If C.A or C.B or C.C, then root detected, and you're hosed. This is the on create, when it first launches the app and creates it, so there's three methods, CA, CB, and CC. If any of them is true, it's root. And you can find them here. Is it here? Yeah, CA, CB, CT. So click this, and you'll see them all. Here is C. Here's A, CA. So it looks to see if the path contains, I think, a colon or something. Here's B, which looks to see if something contains test keys. Here's C, that looks for common superusers like system app superuser, daemon SU, and so on. So it's just looking for various marks which are present on rooted phones. And if any of those marks are there, then it stops you. So what I want to do is, I could, of course, modify the Smalley, but I'm going to do it by just overriding A, B, and C with different methods. And here's the way you do that. First, you need the app's name. So I think the name will have the word uncrack in it. So I'm going to go back here and raise Frida. All right, I'm done with this JADX. Okay. So here, this will list the current running apps and look for uncrack, and it's not finding it, which is rude. Let's do this again. PSU. Okay, it is there. It is currently running on my phone. Let's try OWASP. That's rude. Well, I don't know what happened there. It should have found it. Frida is still running. Let me see if I'm somehow getting in trouble. PS-U should list all the apps. Yeah, this is Zygote and stuff. So it should be running OWASP. Let's try grep minus case insensitive. And let's try anything with an O in it. All right. How about an OW? All right. I don't know why I'm not seeing it. I'm not inclined to struggle with it much. Let me try, maybe if I kill it and launch it again. Kill some of this junk. Come on. uncrackable. Maybe it's going to have a different name. There it is. It's uncrackable 1. It didn't give me the full path. That is pretty disturbing. Let's try checking that. I'm going to do ADB shell and SU, and let's look in data. This is where every app lives, and there's a folder named after the app. And so let's do ls pipe grep crack. Yeah, it's owasp.mstg.uncrackable. This is what I thought. It's for some reason not showing me the full name. I probably need another command line switch in this version of Frida. That's the problem when they change things. Anyway, that's the full name, which is what I'm going to need for the payload. I needed to know that. And now I can create this thing called disableroot.js. I see a mistake in my instructions. I put not root, but it really should be disableroot.js. So let's make, on my main system, I need to make this file, let's go move up to where I expect it to be. There. Okay, nano, disable root. Let's see if I want it capitals or not. No, lowercase. Disable root.js. All right, and in here I put this code. These are the fake A, B, and C functions that just always return false. And this is JavaScript, which is going to run Java, which is completely insane and vulnerable, and that's the vulnerability we're exploiting. So this is the extra code that's going to override what the developer wrote and called A, B, and C. And now we just have to execute one command to do it, which is this. What this is going to do is connect to the machine, then it's going to launch disable root, and then launch this app, because the first thing it does in the main activity when it first launches is check for root. So I want to have this stuff running first, and that's what this -F for force and no pause is doing. This forces it to load this one first, and this tells it to then run the app without any pause. So this will relaunch the app in the environment with the methods hacked. So I'm going to close this one, and now launch it from Frida, which is here. Move this to the side so we can see the phone. And unfortunately, Frida is giving me grief because I have a different version here than when I wrote the app. No pause. Relay, identifier, runtime, timeout, seconds to wait before terminating, that's not interesting, externalize, no auto reload. Looks like they took away the feature I need in this one. So,
pause flag, you said pause to 0 or something.
Pause, was there a pause?
Yes, scroll down a little bit, right there in the bottom.
Pause, leave main thread paused after spawning program.
Never mind, I don't think that's it.
Leave main thread paused. That might be it. Paused instead of freeze. It looks like he took away freeze. Yep, and this might be the walkthrough I went through. The guy was unable to do this, and he actually had a more complicated solution because he couldn't figure out how to do this. Which maybe they took out this feature in the later versions of Frida. Let's see. This one, no pause. Well, what was that? You like you pause, right? Pause, right?
Yeah, but I don't think you can pass anything into it, so I don't think it's going to work.
Yeah, you're right. But I want no pause. Maybe no pause is the default. Let's just try taking it out. That would be nice. If they give me a pause switch, maybe I don't need a no pause switch anymore. Let's see what this does. Let me get my phone visible. There. Yep, that did it. And this is what you get. And now it bashed to root. So, and there's some other step where you know your secret string, but I don't care about that. So that's the point. So now I've got a couple things to fix on this project. I'm just going to make notes, but I'm going to stop the video. That's one that I wanted to